is Chase, who could pass off as Mr. Fantastic. Overdue Bobcat 50 right here.
Biggest compliment of my life.
uh, I think you want to last a little bit longer than the version we got in this film for sure.
Well, yeah, I don't want to be on that planet. That
Yeah, we're also going to be joined by Mr. Marvel himself, Albert. Whenever he comes in, whenever he rolls in his little Xavier washing machine type vehicle, so he's going to be joining us as well. Looks like overdue Bobcats 15 is slowing down a little bit. Let's see if I can get him back on there. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Overdue, can you hear me? Check 1 2 1 2. Looks like he has a little bit of internet issues right now. Let me just slide him off real quick. See if he can recover. So welcome, guys. We are going to be talking Doctor Strange 2, the Multiverse of Madness. I'll be joined once again by overdue Bobcat 50, Mr. Marvel Albert, once they click in. So here's Albert. We're going to see if Chase can get back online. And Professor or Scarlet Albert himself has joined the discussion.
Yo, what up?
What is going on, Albert? How are you doing? I lost Chase for a minute. He's going to come back on right now.
All right, I lost track of time. My bad.
You're good.
I was watching that new the Backlash pay-per-view for WWE.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's today.
Yeah,
it is on today.
I had forgotten about that too.
Yeah, we honestly just started. I'm just waiting for Chase to come back on board. He's probably his internet's a little bit wonky. But I'm down. I'm excited to talk about this with you guys. I mean, we haven't really discussed anything that we've just discussed a little bit of things we liked and stuff, but we haven't really truly discussed a lot of stuff. And here we go. Mr. Fantastic is back.
Yes, I'm back with better Wi-Fi.
So I want to also say I want to wish your guys' mama a happy Mother's Day. It's a happy Mother's Day to every mom out there.
Yes, and to yours and your wife, your baby mom.
Yes. So we had a good Mother's Day. So, but I was like, told my wife, like, hey, I love you, but I gotta do this cast with my boys right now. I gotta talk. Doctor Strange 2, man. I gotta talk it. So guys, I haven't really heard crazy like the in-depth of what you guys thought about the film, but like I told you guys, like, I was a little bit worried with all the reviews that were out there, a lot of mixed reviews, and still mixed reviews, still mixed in the audience too. I know not a lot of people absolutely loved it. Some people loved it. Some people thought it was okay. I don't know if it was just them the expectations were so high. I mean, when we were covering a lot of this, we thought we were going to get cameos on cameos. I thought Tom Cruise was going to come in as Tony Stark. We thought maybe Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man might come in. Ghost Rider, Deadpool, like it was going to be like a No Way Home, but 10 times crazier. The film we got and I watched, I am so happy. I'm glad it wasn't as crazy like that, but yet we did get the cameos we wanted, or we did get some cameos and surprises. I freaking love this film, guys. Like I can't wait to watch it again. It's been playing in my mind. Some of the scenes that happen in this movie, like I freaking love this movie. This movie is a Sam Raimi movie, and I forgot to say in my spoiler review. You know what? I saw the movie Drag Me to Hell. I know a lot of people are going to do Evil Dead references, but I thought Drag Me to Hell is kind of like this, had a lot of that in like Drag Me to Hell, and this movie had a lot of similarities too. Guys, I love this movie. I actually give it a 10 out of 10. I know there's we're going to discuss maybe some of the things we would have changed, some of the flaws in it, but I love this movie. What do you guys think? Who's up a bat? It's okay.
I'm sorry, I was chewing.
I think Chase froze.
Personally,
oh, there he is.
No, you're good. I was gonna let Albert do it, but then I saw he was eating. Am I here?
His mouth was closed like Black Bolt, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I really loved this movie. Thought it was amazing. I do feel like it felt short in some areas, so it's not a perfect one. I do think like a lot of people's hatred towards it, I think is very, very stupid because I do think it's a lot of like overhyped and wanting a lot of cameos and like wanting it to be like and I do wish they maybe went through the multiverse a little bit more, but they wanted that real bad. But honestly, what I ended up getting, like surprisingly, like I almost appreciate and love like Doctor Strange movie that much like classic horror film aspect to it. And and it was a different breath, fresher breath of air for a Marvel movie to get like this, actual scary shit and dark. Like it went to that PG-13 level.
They pushed that PG-13 hard.
Yeah.
I think Black Bolt's death is crazy, man. Like if you think about
that
it,
was the moment. That was the moment.
To
Oh
me.
shit.
Yeah.
PG-15. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a kid. So working today at the theater. We had a kid. He came. He like 10, 20 minutes into it, he got too scared of it, and his dad had to sit with him outside the theater for 2 hours while his other kids, won't finish the movie because the kid was too scared to see it. I didn't think it was that scary.
I don't think it's that scary.
Not at all. But I do love how it does have that horror tropes to it.
It's those moments that get you.
Yeah.
Like I still have Black Bolt's death in my mind, and absolutely I still have Jim's death in my mind.
Yeah. Of course.
Dude, I didn't even realize Jim was dying because I was still trying to process Black Bolt's death.
Yeah.
And then his head pops, and I was like, oh. At first,
like
I didn't realize because we kind of saw that in Infinity War when Thanos used the Reality Stone to it looked like Drax and what's her name Mantis died, but he just changed reality to make them into like an alternate form. I thought that's what Wanda was doing to him at first, and then his head popped, and I was like, oh, dude, she's killing them all.
Oh my god, the shredding of his body is nuts. And if you think about it, like of course to get away with it, because she's shredding him, and she's really shredding him like cheese. And you just don't really process that in the beginning, but when you go back and you watch that scene, like it's because he's in his costume and the way she's shredding him, his body parts are in those costumes, just like with Black Bolt, like processing that death, his brain's mush. You can just hear it and you can see it in the back of his head. You're like, holy crap, man, this is so great. Like, of course, I would love for them to push it further, like to make it an R-rated movie. But you got to understand, they're trying to make bank. So this is the best I'm gonna get. What'd you think, Albert? Did you what? I know you gave me a grade on it.
I loved it too. I've seen it twice now, and it definitely had moments where not only me but like the entire crowd gasped. They couldn't believe what was happening. My favorite part is I thought going into the movie, we all knew Wanda was gonna be bad, right? But I thought it was this is how I thought the movie was gonna play out. Dr. Strange would go to Wanda for help for whatever reason. I didn't put too much thought to who the villain was. I think we all just kind of thought that the villain was gonna be evil Doctor Strange like throughout the movie. At least that's what I kind of figured, at least for the first half. Then Wanda with America Chavez, like being able to use the multiverse, she'd accidentally show Wanda a version of where her kids exist, and then that's what would trigger Wanda to want to use her powers or whatever, and so she would turn bad. But nah, dude, right from the beginning, it's Wanda all along. She's the one that sent the monster that killed the other version of Doctor Strange in the beginning, and I just loved how they didn't waste no time. It was just as soon as Doctor Strange went to go recruit her, 2 minutes later, it's established that Wanda is the villain of this movie. And I love that that she went full heel. It wasn't like, because at first I was like, all right, she's bad. Is she gonna be able to redeem herself at the end? And then as you go through the movie, you're like, oh no, she's doing some horrible stuff. She's doing more villainous things than more villain than any.
One of the best villains in all of Marvel.
Yeah, she's like the most villainous villain in all of Marvel. Even Thanos getting the Infinity Stones was leaving the heroes alive.
Oh, they,
Wanda, she wanted her
yeah.
kids so bad that she was killing everyone.
It's crazy because it's
So I love that.
616 Wanda that we've been following since WandaVision, since
Hmm.
Age of Ultron. So it blew my dude. You're
But
absolutely right.
they do
Absolutely
explain
right.
it that the Darkhold kind of corrupted her. They like I love the line where I forgot if Strange or Wong said it. One of them says that Wanda has the Darkhold and the Darkhold has her. I love that line because it's true. It
Hmm.
is corrupting her, but it's still her. Like she does want her kids. So
Um,
I just loved how dark they made Wanda. The only thing is I don't know if she's dead at the end. I don't I don't think we've seen the last of Wanda. I don't know, but I don't know if that's because they'll introduce a other universe version of her, or if it'll still be that version.
I think
But
that Wanda's gone.
that's for another movie. That doesn't have to do with this movie. So
Yeah.
I love that they made Wanda the villain, and like
I
they weren't afraid of making her the villain.
Yeah, I was just so like you're absolutely right. This they pulled an end game. Was it? I think it was end game. They pulled an
Hmm.
end game with the advertisement and the marketing because like that's exactly what I thought. I thought Wanda wasn't gonna switch to bad until like maybe the middle of the movie,
Hmm.
and they went full on when she goes, yeah, you could bring America here and I'll watch her. And then Doctor Strange is like, and she's like, "I didn't mention that, didn't I? Or
I
you
didn't
didn't
even catch
mention that
that.
name. You didn't mention that name, did you?" He's like, "No." And then she just
Hmm.
reveals, she's been going into this madness state. I think we could have used a little bit more of her mind, more of that of the dark hold really corrupting her mind, and maybe you know, I think we could have used a little bit more of that to really truly understand how deep she's gone, how much madness. I mean, they did put the line in there, which I appreciate, and I could understand it after the events of WandaVision, but just a little bit more of like what this dark hold could do because. I think we know Agatha, right? Agatha was
Hmm.
a hold of the dark hold, and she was fine. Well, I mean, she was evil, but she didn't go
It was.
to I don't think but she didn't have kids.
No.
That was the biggest thing in this movie was Wanda and the kids. Now, the one thing I didn't necessarily, I wish they would have put in if they were going to put in a lot of cameos or another storyline point was Vision. I think Vision was
Hmm.
needed in this film, and we didn't get
Yeah.
any hint of him at all.
They just
Yeah.
referenced him real quick when she says, "Don't talk about me for about sacrifice because I had to kill the man I love and it meant nothing." That's all. That's the only time they ever reference Vision, and I do feel like Vision. Yeah. So one of the big things, or like the only thing I would change, is Vision should have been in this movie because she loves her kids, yeah, but she loved Vision just as much. Like in
Mm-hmm.
WandaVision, it was a story about their family, and Vision was a very important part of that. So I don't know why they didn't put him in here. Like I wasn't expecting to see White Vision, but at least in the other universes, I was
Yeah.
expecting Vision to be there, part of the family. Maybe he was at work, who knows? But I just would have liked to see Vision, especially if this is like to conclude Wanda's story. He should have been there, because he's
Yeah.
part of it.
I mean, I can see like why Vision like it's your kid or like motivation over like Vision. I can see why she does that. That like getting over his death,
Hmm.
with his death. But yeah, the fact that they didn't mention him very and that he wasn't brought up or really shown off at all to
Mm-hmm.
me, how large of a part he is to her backstory.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like him in the movie wouldn't be a cameo. I don't see that as like wanting Vision wanting a cameo because it would be a pivotal character to the story.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what I was kind of missing a little bit. And
Hmm.
going back and kind of rethinking, like, so the line drop where she says you didn't. I was like, well, why would she blow her cover like that? With saying America's name. Like, I would think I would give Wanda a little bit more credit being smarter. With the whole getting her to we're setting the plan in motion, right? And then just
Hmm.
that little slip up Doctor Strange knows her kind of like something's up. But I also remember her telling Strange like if she wanted to, and everybody else said if she wanted to, she could have sleepwalked or
Yeah,
whatever, and she could have absolutely taken America already. And
yeah.
then she knows that Strange has her. So I think that was a sign of this is the only time I'm gonna reveal myself. I'm not gonna reveal. I think she did that on purpose, honestly. And I think because she is, allies with Strange, and she doesn't. At first, she doesn't want to hurt anybody.
No,
That
he
was the
doesn't.
begin. That was the beginning of the movie, right? That was going to Strange's compound and really just saying, like, dude, you need to give up America. It's funny to say America. You need to give up Chavez, or I'm gonna wreck some people. People are gonna die because you are being stubborn, and it's these two. It's like you kind of understand, of course, what Strange is like. Dude, no, you're gonna basically kill her just to get what you want. You're like, you've really gone, overdid it. Are you really mad? And then Wanda, knowing her pain and sacrifice, and knowing that, yeah, the Darkhold is like just corrupting her mind. I thought we were gonna see more of an inner struggle with her and
Hmm.
the Wanda inside, like the Wanda we've known, and we only got a little bit of that when Charles Xavier is in her mind. So I'm gonna ask you guys because I think we need to start talking about the freaking what everybody's been buzzing about. First of all, Chase, we talked about this. I want Jim as Mr. Fantastic in future MC movies. Now, the thing though that
Yeah.
everybody's complaining about is the world's smartest man
Hmm.
gave did the stupidest thing by telling Wanda, Black Bolt's ability. I don't mind it because
That's
I
not
think
dumb.
those
That's
guys.
him, like warning.
I
Yeah.
think yes, he had sympathy. You could tell he had
Yeah.
sympathy, and you could
He didn't
tell
want
that
to like
he.
kill her,
No,
If
no.
if he was in the mindset that it
but he
was
didn't have
gonna
the
be a
option.
battle no matter what, he wouldn't have revealed that. He didn't want it to get to a battle. But if he knew, oh, we need to kill this girl, he wouldn't have said that. But
Yeah,
that
he
wasn't
was
his stance. He was trying
absolutely.
to reason with her, you
That's
know.
what I
But
got.
like
That's what I
Wanda
got.
said, she's done being reasonable. She made that clear, not to him, but she made that clear to the audience that she's done being reasonable. So that's why she just murdered the shit out of them. Plus, what does Wanda care about them? They're not even like she doesn't even know them. Not even part of their
No,
universe. Like she doesn't care. She wants her kids.
They did
But
prove that it's strong.
oh yeah,
she's
she's
strong.
stronger
She's
than that
definitely
Captain Marvel. Not
she's
my
strong.
Captain Marvel.
She's stronger than Strange. The debate's over.
She's
She is
strong.
stronger
Yeah.
than Strange. Yeah.
Hmm.
And
Yep.
I've always
It's
said that Wanda is so powerful. When you saw that in Endgame or in Infinity War, and then just Wanda
Yeah.
herself, man, she's just such a beast.
Doctor Strange from the What If show, I think though, is stronger than the Scarlet Witch.
I
But
think that
from the
Well, with the power of
MCU's,
the Darkhold.
I believe that
yeah.
yeah, he is stronger than him. But they
Um,
revealed that too in what's it called in WandaVision. Agatha said, "Your powers exceed those of the Sorcerer Supreme," which Doctor Strange isn't the Sorcerer Supreme. Wong is, but he was
which I
at one
love.
point. You
I
know.
love it. I love
I
that
love that
dynamic,
too.
man.
Yep, I love that
So
ever since
good.
they revealed it in
Yeah.
Spider-Man, where it's like, oh, he got on a technicality because I was Blip for 5 years, and he can't just get it back like that just because he's
Yeah,
back.
it's
So
great.
I like how they're doing that because
Yeah.
then we're gonna see also later on this year what happened with Wakanda, who was the king while
Yeah,
T'Challa was Blip for 5 years. So I like how they're still talking about the Blip even in the beginning with the surgeon that his coworker.
Christine.
But
Oh no, the other guy. The other
no,
guy. I'm
the
sorry.
other guy, I forgot his
Yeah,
name.
from the funeral. Not the funeral. The wedding. The wedding.
The wedding, yeah. I thought it
Yeah.
was a funeral at first too. I was like, what the heck? But
Yeah.
yeah, Reed Richards. I hope to get back to the Illuminati. I hope Reed Richards, John Krasinski, is. I hope he comes back. He was fan casted, right? Everyone wanted him. We've
And
been
they
seeing,
and they
and they did it, dude.
they
It,
did the exact freaking fan art. They
yeah,
got you
exactly.
Yeah.
When I saw that fan art,
exactly.
I went back to look at it. I was like, dude, was this a leak? I was like, nah, this was fan art. They did it justice. Like he looked exactly like it.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they did that. I hope it wasn't a one-off because I do want him. Is like if both
Be
parties can come to like an agreement,
Yeah.
I would love for him to come back because I think all the fans do.
Oh,
Like him
there's a
dying right here in this
discussion.
movie, real quick. I don't think that was like
I think
I don't think that's a problem. They can bring him back again.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, And I love that they didn't show his powers too much. They just teased it a little
Yeah.
bit. He literally used it twice. Once to when he came into the frame to talk to
Superhero
Wanda,
landing.
and then
Superhero landing. He's
the
gonna do a superhero
yeah,
landing.
exactly. And then when he tried to like hit Wanda or whatever, I don't know. That was the only dumb thing he did. It's like you just saw what Wanda did, and you're trying to hit her. He should have ran away. But
He panicked like Bolt.
yeah, they panicked. But yeah, so I hope we see Reed again. Black Bolt was cool. I don't care to see him again, but I'm glad that they showed off his power in the flashback when he killed Strange. Captain Carter, I hope we see again. That version of Captain Marvel, I don't care for. Well, like, unless our Captain Marvel dies too, then I want Captain Marvel again. But we don't need two Captain Marvels.
No.
But we'll see what happens. I think this is all leading to they teased it in Loki with the I forgot what they called it, but the Battle of Universes, and then they teased it here with the incursions. So I think this is leading to the Secret Wars type of thing. So we'll see. The Charles Xavier, like I feel like we've seen enough of him too. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
That particular version for sure.
That version, yeah. But that's
his last. That's his.
I love that the Illuminati died. I know other people are annoyed that they died, but I liked it.
I don't know, Chase. It might be. He might have one more in him. One more in him, depending. Chase, I got. Chase, are you with us? Wi-Fi, your Wi-Fi's terrible today.
Yeah, that Tennessee Wi-Fi.
I'm trying to hear your thoughts on Mr. Fantastic because this guy he wants Mr. Fantastic. He wants a Fantastic Four movie with John Krasinski.
One to go crazy over fan art. Can you guys hear me? Make sure.
I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah. Ever since I saw that fan art, I was like, this needs to happen.
Oh, he's dying over here.
Good. It perfect fit. He's always wanted to be in a Marvel. Like he always wanted to do superhero movies.
Yeah, he was supposed to be the original Captain America.
Go for Captain America.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Went for Captain America. Like it makes. Just seen that fan art and was like, we're doing that right there, and just been like, we're doing exactly that. We're bringing.
And he looks so good. He looks so
right now,
good.
We're gonna get this to happen.
The suit.
Emily Blunt would
beard.
look at him as.
Oh, I'm not gonna. Low expectations on that because I know Emily Blunt said that she didn't really want to do any superhero movies, but that would be awesome.
It'd be perfect. But what if they bring in his wife from The Office?
Takes out the trash.
Nah, they're not gonna bring Pam. They're not gonna bring Pam.
But they bring in Dwight as
Dwight is the thing.
The thing.
That'd be hilarious. Dude, all right. The only thing I didn't like about that version of Mr. Fantastic was the suit. I didn't care about the suit too much.
I like the suit.
But that's just me, The suit doesn't matter at the end of the day. Like, it's the Fantastic Four suit. It's simple. It's simple in the comics. It's just all blue. So yeah, the four design looks sick. His entrance was sick. He was cool.
With the little amount of screen time he had, like when he the dopest line in the movie, and I think in any MCU movie, was the fact when he's like, Wanda, I understand. I have kids too. And then her telling him like,
yep,
that was
the best line in the movie.
And John's so good with his facial sympathy kind of face that he's like, yes, they do.
I think they went, and you can kind of feel in this. I feel like they directly kind of put him in front for a reason. I feel like he's directly in front of that scene. Like he was directly the one talking to Wanda, not just because he's the world's smartest man, not just because he's always been a leader of the Fantastic Four and whatever. It felt like they were doing this and they're showing him off. Like, hey, this is happening. He's a guy for the MCU. That's what I felt like. Black Bolt, we know, is not like a big MCU.
No.
It's not for any recent time. The other Captain Carter is just kind of a nice little tease. Same with having the different Captain Marvel. Those were just fun little things to do. But he was the one I felt like kind of got the shine out of it. Along with Professor Xavier, because he's Professor Xavier. but he got the shine out of it because he's the one that they knew people wanted, and I think that they'll have.
Yep. Plus, he was the only one in the lineup that we hadn't seen before. That actor. All the other actors we've seen before in superhero movies because they were just other characters from the movies. And Black Bolt, I believe, was the same actors in Humans, which I never seen. But it was the same actor.
Oh,
it
was
the
same
in
actor?
Humans. It was the same actor. Yeah,
So
they gave him a comic accurate costume this time.
Yeah,
and
I liked it.
I got to go to that death scene real quick, and I got to say, like Black Bolt is the one that panicked. He could breathe through his nostrils. He didn't have to say anything, and he spouted out a word. So he panicked at that moment.
Yeah. And I had heard that in the comics that people were kind of mad at that because he's in the comic books. You know, he trains to not panic and accidentally kill one of his teammates. He trains to not yell in pain. So after hearing that, I am like, well, that sucks that they did him dirty like that. But at the same time, I would not change that death scene. That was perfect.
It's a great death scene. It's also, you know, like I said, it's kind of like the Mr. Fantastic. He was totally set up for that line where Wanda goes, you know, well, good. There'll be somebody to raise them. And I was like, oh, that's stone cold, man.
Exactly.
Dude. Okay, Wanda was a beast in this. Wanda was so good in this movie. Now, I don't want to take away from Doctor Strange because I think Doctor Strange did. I thought he was the more kind of, he was the character that I think was growing the most. Where Wanda is kind of funny. So Doctor Strange was growing the most while Wanda was retracting. Wanda, because she was a hero, and her demise in this film was, I loved it. I love Chase. You're absolutely right. I said it too. That Wanda, I think, is the best villain in the MCU because we followed her as a hero, and we've seen this 616 version go in her demise. Like we're sympathetic. We understand why she's kind of like this. I thought Sam Raimi handled a lot of the scenes, especially towards the end with her and her kids. I was blown away. I was absolutely blown away by just them going from the get-go, her becoming a villain, and then at the end her sacrificing herself. I think this version might be dead, and we might see another version from another multiverse because this is just one step again to go into the multiverse. Like at the end credits with Doctor Strange, and I think her name is Clea, yeah. And they're supposed to be like a romance between those two.
Yeah.
And they're jumping. You have Chavez's abilities now. You have Doctor Strange and Clea going.
Whatever's happening in Loki.
Whatever's going to happen in Loki season 2, which is the writer from that show did this film.
I did not know that.
Film. Yes, yeah, and like, damn, man. Channel says they're not going to recast Black Bolt for this. I think Black Bolt's kind of done. I don't think a lot of people want to see the Inhumans.
Yeah.
Give Wong his props. Love me some Wong. Wong is dope. I knew he wasn't dead when Wanda threw him out.
Is he kind of a weak Sorcerer Supreme, though?
Die.
Is he a yeah, I think
because he's like, man, it's just like he's kind of just sometimes I just feel like they make him too much of a joke. I'm like, can you at least get my man like some action, you know, let him like really show off his Sorcerer Supremeness.
He got a nice little kill at the end.
You think about it though, like him and Doctor, that's what I love. I love this team. Like this is kind of like Sherlock and Watson. Like I love this team. And if you look at the film, you look at the first fight where the wedding and they're fighting this tentacle monster thing. They're both getting their ass kicked, but they're both using teamwork. That's what I like about how Doctor Strange isn't OP yet. I'm fine with Wanda being that because Wanda is technically a mutant and she's just growing. She's like the Phoenix, right? She's just growing in power.
She's a witch.
She's a witch. Yeah, she's a Scarlet Witch. And for Wong and like Doctor Strange to struggle like this, like I said, I think Doctor Strange grew more. Not only as because he's a dick, he's a Tony Stark, but he's growing to like what he learned in the end of this movie was to allow other people kind of to help him. You had Christine helping him, which I thought it was better done here.
To have other people hold the knife every now and then.
Yes. And I thought Rachel McAdams had a little bit more to do here than the first movie. And then also, Chavez to really kind of embrace Chavez and really kind of That's what I'm saying. The moral is, even though he was getting his ass kicked, and he probably would have lost to Wanda either way if Wanda
Yeah,
didn't like switch gears.
yeah,
But at least he's a hero. He still was
that's
trying
true.
to save Chavez,
That's
which I
true.
really like.
Now,
Going to America. Oh yeah, go for it,
I
Chase.
had a question. So you did
Yeah,
mention a little bit earlier that how much you love Doctor Strange's growth, and it's one of the biggest complaints you're getting from people that don't like this movie is that they don't feel Doctor Strange was at all like got any like wasn't his movie. You know, they're mad that Wanda got like because Wanda did get like the better
yeah.
like part of the movie. Like she was like the villain kind of stole it. It kind of feels like the Dark Knight where the villain almost stole the movie.
I said that.
So
But that's not a
yeah,
bad thing. That's not a bad
no,
thing. You still remember Christian Bale as Batman.
yeah,
Sometimes you need your main player, your main card, your ace in the hole is always going to be your villain.
yeah,
And you need your hero to balance that out. And
yeah,
just because he's not getting the most shine, like let's say the Batman, right? I think Bruce
yeah,
Batman was the main focus, that Batman. And
yeah,
I honestly think the Riddler and the Penguin didn't overshadow him, but they
yeah,
contributed. And I think this is
yeah,
the reverse kind of like that, where Wanda was, because Wanda is the more tragic character. This is
yeah,
kind of her demise as a story,
yeah,
and Doctor Strange is kind of there to see her out the door, you know.
yeah,
But I didn't had no problem with it. I think they both countered really well. If anything, it would have been more emotional if we had more scenes in the past with like a friendship of
yeah,
Doctor and Wanda. But I'm okay with them just, because they're not super close friends. They're allies.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
you see that in comics all the time, where allies gotta go against
yeah,
each other too.
yeah.
It's
And
not it's not a
I
Tony or
agree.
Captain relationship.
I agree. I agree. That's just been the biggest complaint I've seen so far is people really think he's been like outshadowed in his movie. I'm like, no, he holds his own in his movie. He's still like he's just a lovable character. I don't think he doesn't have the tragic like crazy story that Wanda has, but he has growth. He's simply kind of learning to be better at what he is at sorcery and stuff like that. He's going to a darker side of his sorcery at the end and learning like having to dive into that and we kind of see the effects of it at the end. Like it might bite him in the ass, but the risk he's willing to take.
Yeah.
You know,
With
and
the
that's
end
actually that is probably the biggest thing you see in Doctor Strange is like it shows you that Doctor Strange and each version of him seems to really take risks. Like he is willing
Hmm.
to do anything to get the job done, and
Yep.
in
killing
return, that kills himself and hurts others in return.
attempting to
And
kill Chavez.
yeah,
Um
every other version of him was terrible.
He destroyed an entire reality to try to bring Christine back from the dead.
we saw
Yeah,
what if,
Hmm.
yeah. And I do think you got to do your homework before entering this movie a little bit. You
yeah,
got to watch those episodes. I think it impacts more, and
It
we
hits
watched
more.
them.
yeah,
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then also the fact that letting Christine go, like any version with these two, it just doesn't work. And him
Yep.
realizing, like, I could rely on you. You're a close friend, and I still love you, but I have to let you go and be happy.
yeah.
So I got to ask though, guys, what did you think about America? Is it America or American? I think it's America, right?
America.
America Chavez. What did you think about her performance, and what did you think about her in this story?
I thought she was gonna be annoying before I saw the movie. I was ready for because I was like, oh, kid actors. She's 14 or 13 or 15. I was
She's
like,
a
oh,
teen. Yeah.
she's gonna be annoying. So I was preparing myself for that. I go in, I watched the movie. I didn't find her annoying. I actually really liked her. I look forward to seeing her again. Like not crazy soon, but if they are working up to that Young Avengers team, she's gonna be a part of it. Her powers OP, I don't know, but they're powerful and they're very important. But yeah, I liked her when she joked around. It was funny. Her use of Spanish was funny. Because she kind of she called him a bad word in Spanish, but the
Yeah.
translation didn't translate that.
I
I
didn't
thought
know
that
that.
was hilarious.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really liked her character, and this kind of worked as her origin story too, because we saw the first time she used her powers, and we saw her growth, and now she can control her powers. It was an origin
Yeah.
story without giving her own Disney Plus show or her own movie. So
Yeah.
I think the character they did well with her. Like I was shocked because I really
Yeah.
thought I was gonna find her annoying. I thought I was gonna walk out of the movie saying, "Yeah, that's that." If they had just changed her a little bit, I would have liked her more. But nope, I wouldn't change anything about her either.
Yeah. it's always a thing whenever you see like, oh, there's gonna be a kid actor in this movie. Like, it reminds me, it made me like seeing her as like made me think a little bit of Deadpool 2, because to me
No.
the Deadpool
Oh
2
my
has the
God,
worst
Deadpool
kid
2
actor
kid.
in the
Oh Jesus,
world,
yeah,
the
yeah.
absolute worst kid ever to be, and I hated it. So like ever since then, I'm very like skeptical when kid, because it's always like, oh, funny superhero, funny superhero that has smart ass comments. Oh, he has a little kid who also has smart ass comments back to him, and they're paired together for the whole movie, and the kid is smart aleck and all that stuff. And honestly, it worked for her. I think it worked really well. Like, she was an enjoyable character. She was I won't say like she was a standout by any means, but she was enjoyable. I think she was funny at times. She was nice. She was well paired with Benedict Cumberbatch. I think they worked well together. I think they worked well
Hmm.
off each other. And I did see more of a kid that was, struggling from losing her parents and struggling to control her power. So she really conveyed that part of it pretty well, and I was genuinely surprised and very happy with what I saw from her. I don't know, like, yeah, like Albert, kind of, I don't know if I need anything from her soon. I don't think I'm griping for it, but like, I can see her being in something later on, and me enjoying the fact that she's going to be in it.
I found
Yeah,
her like to be like the Kitty Pride of the
Oh
kind of
yeah.
like of the universe.
yeah,
You know, I thought the actress did okay. I didn't think it was a strong performance by no
yeah,
means, but I thought the character was fine. I thought it was she was fine in it. There was nothing that I could say like, oh my god, I just can't stand this movie because of her. What I really loved about her though was not necessarily her characterization, because I thought she was kind of generic in that sense,
yeah.
but her abilities, her powers, the power when she did punch a freaking star and like jumps to universe, that's pretty
It's
That's
dope.
cool
sick.
That's very
Hmm.
abilities.
dope.
And then her learning how to kind of control somewhat of it was great too. So she's a very power, like I could see why a lot of like why Wanda would want her, and why would a lot of people who are in the mystics arts would want her, because her abilities are cool. And I like the ending where she is training under Wong and Strange, and or at the whatever that compound, I forgot the name of it. But
Karmatage or
Commentage.
something.
yes,
Commentage, yeah.
yes, yes. So I like more her abilities and more what she could do maybe in the future. I didn't necessarily like absolutely love the character at all. The strange thing though was when Strange at the end kind of says you'll find your parents. So I thought immediately after the end of the movie, I thought she was going to go looking for her parents, but
Yeah,
apparently she's still sitting back training. Uh, I think her parents are alive, but
yeah.
yeah, and this is supposed to be the first LGBTQT kind of like character representation. I don't know if we
The
gotten it
the
before.
fir- the so in
Mm.
the Avengers Endgame, the one of the Russo brothers in the scene,
Oh,
very
that's
first
right.
one that, yeah, at least said, my husband or boyfriend or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
went
But
blipped.
this
That
is a
was the very
first
first, but there's
superhero.
If you're not counting
yeah,
Wanda's kid, then yeah, because
Oh
Wanda's
yeah,
kid,
they're
we saw
kids.
him last year, and
They're
he grows
kids.
up to be a thing with hulking, which I don't know too much about that character, but it's a
Yeah,
smaller version of Hulk.
that's
yeah, it was
So
early on there.
yeah.
so
I don't
yeah,
But
know.
this
yeah,
character is, but at the same time, they didn't really reveal any of that.
I
No,
just
no, no, no.
yeah,
They don't have to. I mean, they like it doesn't like it didn't it doesn't add or take away anything from the story. Honestly, it's just I thought she was gonna go and find go look for her parents, but
Yeah.
she not this movie, not at the end of this one. She I guess it's gonna
Mhm.
be hinted maybe later on. I don't think her parents are dead though.
I
no,
don't think so
they're
either.
definitely leaving that open.
They could do something interesting. If I were to write it, I'd say one of them died, the other one didn't.
Oh, maybe, yeah, maybe. So we got to
Parents
talk
is
about
kind
like
of
Professor
No,
X,
look,
bro.
this comment that just happened.
that's
What
funny.
happened?
I was about to say this too,
That's
because
true.
in Spider-Man, they teased that like Ned can do the portals and stuff. So it would have been hilarious if you saw Ned was right there
Oh,
practicing
I
at the
know.
end.
I
That
Like,
would
would
have
have
been so
loved
good.
going
That
back
would
and
have been
watching No Way Home. I want
uh-huh.
Ned to
so
be part
funny.
of this. Yeah,
I want him
dude,
to
I
be
love
part of
Ned.
it too.
I
And
love
he
Ned
it.
might
is
be he might be practicing not in Carmitage, but in the Sanctum in New York. So
maybe
yeah. I
strange,
mean,
strange, strange. Like, did you just open a portal?
yeah,
Yes. Like,
yeah. They could
and then
easily never acknowledge it again, but I hope they do.
well,
Yeah.
well, check this out. So we do get a hint, a line, right? A No Way Home. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
still a little confused. So he knows that the multiverse thing cracked, with Spider-Man, but he
Yeah.
doesn't know still Peter, but he knows that Spider-Man, that whole adventure was with Spider-Man, right? So he knows
Yeah.
Spider-Man, but he doesn't know Peter. I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
That's what
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Um.
confusing.
So I want to, dude. I got to talk about. I loved, freaking loved. I know it was fan service. I got to talk a little bit more of the Illuminati real quick, but
Yeah,
I loved when Professor Xavier comes in and you get a little bit of that.
Hmm. Hmm. That was great.
I was like, oh shit. I mean, I don't like the chair, but I like that little theme
yeah,
song.
Yeah.
Um,
The chair looked funny.
I think Agent, I know we wanted to see Agent Carter or Captain Carter in live form. I didn't think she looked very good in this film. I did not really care. I know it's not Monica. I made a
She
mistake.
looked great.
It's Maria. I didn't like the rocket. I thought the suit was a little bit too bulky. It looked kind of funny. It looked a little bit more like kind
She's
of like
bulky. She has a superhero syndrome. I mean,
I didn't
shot.
like it. I felt like it could have been, maybe it was just the camera angles too. I did not like her death. I thought her death could be more original, more out of the box. Captain Marvel, I didn't care for.
yeah. It was,
I told you this. I think they needed Tony to be there. It's just weird without Tony not being part of the Illuminati. I don't care if it was Tom
yeah,
Cruise's version or bringing Robert Downey Jr. back or just another actor
yeah,
playing Tony. Tony needed to be in that Illuminati.
yeah.
Yep.
I'm very surprised they didn't. That was one of the things that like I left away with being like, I'm so surprised that they didn't have a version of Tom Cruise version of Tony Stark,
Yeah.
and especially with that Illuminati, especially because like they're walking around with the Ultrons and stuff like that, which was Tony's creation.
Well,
It's like
maybe it was Mr. Fantastic's in this
Or
maybe,
or Hanks or Xavier's. Yep.
yeah.
They called them Sentries, but then they also did reference the name Ultron.
They mentioned
I'm not
Ultron
too
and
sure. Yeah, they
Ultron
did
units
mention
or something.
Ultron.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
So
Um,
I mean, but also, God, sending Ultron bots as the first thing Wanda sees is horrible because that's who
yeah.
killed her
That's what
brother.
like.
So
Yeah.
that
you're
probably made
right.
her.
No,
That's
that
probably
could've gotten
that's
more.
probably why she was like, "Nah, I'm gonna
Dude,
fuck these guys up."
I didn't realize
Yeah.
that. You're
Yep.
absolutely right.
Mhm.
So going back to like some of the negatives in here, you could tell there were scenes that were missing or scenes that lasted a little bit longer. I said when Wanda and Strange are talking before she attacks the Comitage, it seemed like the dialogue, it seemed like they cut it. It seemed like that scene was longer. So when she enters the Illuminati compound, dude, she's already bloodied. She has no shoes on. Like, and
Mhm.
then I'm thinking like, they're missing something here. Like, there's something there, and she's just really attacking these bots or these Ultron bots, right? And then we go to
Yeah.
the straight out Illuminati. I think the Illuminati scene with her fighting, I think that was still restored. I think that was still it. There was also the fact that I think Mordor,
Oh, yep, he's
he's
still alive.
he's in there. I thought maybe there's probably more scenes of that in the cutting room floor.
Mhm.
I'm cool. I'm cool with not bringing the 616 into it because if they do a Doctor Strange 3, I think you give him more time on that. And I'm okay with him just going another, like, another version of this guy in where Doctor or where Strange is at. But he still hates Doctor Strange in any multiverse, which is, I
Yeah,
thought it was
that's
sick
was
though.
funny.
I thought it was sick though. The statue had like Strange's like collar,
Hmm.
like comic book accurate. It was like
Hmm.
a lengthy collar.
Yeah.
What's up, MJ? So like so I think there was like a lot of I think Sam Raimi said that there was like 40 minutes cut of this film.
Yep.
I didn't think it needed to be longer. For what they were telling me, I didn't think it needed to be longer. Did you guys think it needed to be longer, or was there anything that you probably wanted to see that would made this a little bit better?
As long as they didn't cut something with Vision out, then like I'm happy because we always, like when we went to go watch Batman, I remember telling you I really liked the movie. I feel like they could have cut some things out of there, and it still
That's
could
too
have been
lengthy.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, with this movie, I feel like that's what they did. They had the longer version, 2 hours 40 minutes or whatever, and they said we can cut some things out, and it can feel polished and still feel good. I think that's what they did. It didn't feel short to me. It felt like good. 2 hours and 6 minutes. I remember when they said that it was 2 hours 6 minutes. I was like, bro, I was expecting this to be 2 hours 40 minutes, 3 hours, like Multiverse of Madness. So I don't know what they cut. I mean, they could always release the Raimi cut on Disney Plus, you know,
The Raimi
the
cut's probably super hardcore more than this.
That'd be
right.
cool though. I would love to see that.
Hey,
I would love
Disney
it. I would
Plus
love it
has
too.
Be all
Disney
for it.
Plus has the rated R stuff now, so
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
that's
true.
right.
they might,
True.
you know, if you do that age restriction or whatever.
Yeah.
So if we get those 40 minutes and it's like a rated R cut, that'd be sick. But with the cut that we had, the theatrical cut, I'm very happy with it. What about you, Chase? Do you think like they needed to expand anything?
The only thing I think I could have asked, the only thing I kind of wanted was just the fact that like it is a multiverse movie. We see them go through a ton of multiverses when she first goes through it.
Yeah.
But they only really explore one.
Yes.
Which was Illuminati, and then he goes into the destroyed one that already no one exists, which was not
That's
really,
not that's not the Doctor Strange from What If, right?
No, because
No.
that world completely crumbled. It's just a rock that's left from that world.
I just thought it would be cool. At least they spent like another 15, 10 minutes, 20 minutes where he goes, or they find himself in another universe. Like another explored universe I thought would be cool.
Agreed.
But I guess maybe not necessary, but it still would have been cool to see another, like just see more. I want to, the multiverse is such a big thing now. It's Marvel. It's going to be part of Marvel for a while. This is the first movie where we're really getting to explore those multiverses. I would have loved to seen another one too. I will say there was the cartoon verse, which was second I saw that, I was like, all right. Into the Spideyverse. Are we doing this?
I know, right? Oh my god, I know, right? And then you had the What If verse. Then you had that weird painting verse.
The weird painting,
when seeing the trailer,
I was like, is this Marvel saying, all right, we don't give a fuck. We're going to go whoever we want.
The best movies over there at Sony is the Spider-Verse. I thought when seeing the trailers for this movie, I thought we at least would jump into the zombie verse real quick. And I thought that's where we were going to get our Ash Williams cameo. So I was hoping for Ash to be in this, but it was a Bruce cameo that I thought was kind of lame. But I get the reference and stuff. So Channel said, did they get Tom Cruise or RDJ and just didn't want to kill Iron Man and piss off the fans? And I think
I want to add to that right now. Once you're done talking,
they wouldn't bring him in and not have him on the movie and cut it.
Yeah, and then honestly, I don't think they. Maybe Kevin Feige didn't want to, because he is advocate of not only the X-Men, but of Fantastic Four. So he might have. Chasey made a good point of like John being the center of it. Maybe he wanted the focus to be on John because he knows Fantastic Four is next in the lineup. So this is going to be your next, this is going to be your leader. So maybe putting Tom Cruise or RDJ or anybody like Tony just overshadows Mr. Fantastic. And then I also want to add that we didn't get a Wolverine cameo, which I thought was going to happen with Hugh Jackman. So they didn't really put any mutants in here. They just had Professor X. Go ahead, Albert. Say what you guys say.
Oh, there's like 3 things I want to bring up because then I'm gonna forget about them. I swear, because when I saw it the second time yesterday, I swear that when towards the end, the last time we see the chairs of the Illuminati, I see 6 chairs, even though there should only be 5 because there's
Modar is one of them, right? Modar's is supreme.
Yeah, so there's 5 members plus Xavier, right? Xavier doesn't need a wooden chair; he has his own chair.
He don't.
But
need
I
chair.
swear I saw 6 chairs, 3 on the left, 3 on the right. I want to say that the lineup from left to right was, I don't know if I'm gonna, but I feel like there were 3 people on the left. That was Captain Marvel, Mr. Fantastic, and Mordor. And then 2 people on the right was Captain Carter and Black Bolt, and then Xavier like in the middle of that. I don't know if they just have an extra seat there so that it could be symmetrical, but I was thinking maybe they were gonna have. Maybe there is another Illuminati member. He might be busy. Might have been Supreme or the Invincible Iron Man. No, Iron Man is what I was thinking, right? Might be Kang. It could have been like anyone, right? Like I was thinking like, oh, Beast is pretty smart. Like Beast could have made sense there. Like it could have been other people. So I don't know if they did cut
could have been
that
Hank
out.
Could have been Pym.
It could have been. Oh, Hank. I thought you were saying Kang.
No, Hank. Kang too. Kang could have been in there because we
like a variant, right? Of that's
a variant.
Let's talk about Kang too. There's a theory out there that Reed Richards' death, could affect the Kang in the future because Reed
that's true.
Is related to Kang.
Yeah,
so you were like, I wonder how this affects the Kang in this universe. can't
right.
use it in this
I
universe. And
forget
there's like
that
a
kid's
theory,
name,
like
but
what
yeah.
if that actually comes back in the later movies or in the later versions of him? We see like a version of him that's affected by his death, or maybe it doesn't happen. Who knows? Yeah.
They said that could have been Black Panther too.
Or Namor. I think
I
Namor is part
see-
of the
I can
Illuminati.
definitely see Black Panther beyond there.
But yeah,
Uh,
that's just something I observed. That I swear I saw 6 seats, even though there should just be 5.
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy because we do get the flashback of when they're Doctor Strange, or it might have been Doctor Strange. It wouldn't have been. Oh no, no,
Oh,
no.
You know
sure.
what? There you go. That answers
It
it.
might have.
That
That was
makes
Doctor
sense.
Strange's seat.
Yeah,
I am
because
dumb.
it's because we do see a scene of Black Bolt
Yeah,
killing
he was
Doctor
part of
Strange.
he was part of the Illuminati.
Illuminati. Yeah, it
Yeah,
just said he
yeah.
got corrupted, and then what's that scene, dude? Me and Albert. I don't
No,
know if I
no, but
sent you
Mordor
Chase.
took that seat. Mordor took that seat.
That's true. That's true. Mordor took
Yep.
that seat, so maybe not Doctor Strange. But I sent Albert this. I don't know, Chase, if you noticed this watching it, but Thanos is
Oh
like
yeah.
in the shot. He's
Yeah.
like impaled, and I didn't
Yeah.
Yep.
catch that the first time.
I didn't catch
Oh,
it the
really?
first time either
Yeah,
I saw
until
it.
I saw
It was
people
okay.
talking about it online.
Yeah, I didn't catch that, and then
Dude.
when I went back and saw all the actual shot,
Uh-huh.
I was like, "Holy shit, he's
Yeah.
impaled and he is
Yeah.
dead."
When I
And
saw
then
it the second time, he's right there. I don't know how I missed it.
I don't know how I
Friggin'
missed it.
huge. It's because I'm
Big
focusing
ass
over here,
purple
but
dude right
still.
there on the ground.
Yep. That was
So
crazy.
another complaint I'm hearing is that it's kind of hard, because we did have Endgame and that's like the perfect swan song, right? But we have a continuation after that. They're saying that Thanos is kind of a punk bitch now because he dies in What If easily. He dies here. Like,
Mhm.
is he? Maybe he was, and Wanda could easily have taken him out if she was as powerful as she was in this movie, and
Yeah.
then in Infinity Game, or in Infinity War. Do you think they're doing Thanos dirty, man? Because I mean, like, I
I don't
get
think
it.
so. He would have lost against Avengers in Infinity War, but the whole thing was that they lost because
Oh,
they
that's
were
true.
split apart. They weren't
That's true.
together. So if they were
Yeah.
together, I'm pretty sure Thanos would have lost.
No.
That was thanks to Zemo breaking them apart in Civil War. So I'm like, I feel like it makes sense then if Thanos loses in most other universes because he would have lost here. Just that the circumstances were right with the Avengers being split apart for him to win. So I don't think they're like making him seem less of a threat than he actually is because he is threatful, but he wouldn't do much against the Avengers United. That's what I believe, at least.
I think a lot of people too complain about like the power levels of this universe compared to like the 6-1. Here's the thing. Yes, all the Illuminati members got wrecked.
They
Like
got wrecked.
very, very easy. But like
Yep.
I think the 616 versions of what we'll see, like of Reed Richards or whatever, I think they're going to be stronger. I think they're going to be more capable because even like you see the multiverse of different Doctor Stranges. Every Doctor Strange was either more powerful or a little bit more powerful or a little bit more weaker than the one we've been following. I'm gonna go into the Professor X thing, right? So Professor X is the last Illuminati member to get wrecked, and a lot of people are pointing out that, dude, Professor X got shit on because not only does he die all the time in every Marvel movie, but the fact that he wasn't able to kind of sense that other evil witch Wanda and snap his everybody says that they think his neck got snapped, but if you look at it, his jaw looked like his jaw was getting ripped apart.
That scene was crazy.
That scene was amazing. I loved
Yeah.
that scene, and I loved I think the TV was showing like a kind of a WandaVision kind of episode, or kind of like an
Yeah.
outdated episode.
Dude, I love that.
That was so great.
It was her house when it got destroyed by the Stark.
Yes.
That's what I was. As soon as I saw it, I was like, "Oh shoot!" Yeah, the TV was showing. I couldn't tell if it was WandaVision or
Or just
what
a
Wanda was
episode.
watching.
Yeah.
That WandaVision was based off of. But yeah, I love that.
But going back to that, I mean, I hope the Xavier we get in the MCU, like maybe the 616, or when they bring X-Men in, or if they ever do, like maybe just for Secret Wars or something. I think he is stronger. I think Charles Xavier should be stronger because this is the guy who held the Dark Phoenix and Jean for all those many years, who's gone against Dark Phoenix. And the question is, is Wanda stronger than the Dark Phoenix? I don't really think so. I think Jean Grey and the Dark Phoenix is stronger than Wanda, but Wanda, her famous line is "No more mutants," so she is able to just completely get rid of mutants. So it's kind of crazy to think that Xavier. It would have been cool if it was a little bit longer battle. I think out of all the fights that she did, I think that fight should have been a little bit longer because I would have loved to see both minds really go at it. You know?
Mm-hmm. They could have done something there, yeah, but
Yeah.
I still liked what we got. The only thing was I wanted to mention earlier with the fight scenes. I feel like at the end, the final fight, how Chase was saying they called it Multiverse of Madness. We don't really see the other universes. That scene where, other than that scene where Chavez teleports them and you see them go through like 20 or 30 universes, I would have loved a scene at the end where they're fighting and it could have been like quick 3 seconds per universe where they're fighting and like every blow it changes the universe, like just to incorporate that multiverse a little more,
Yeah.
you know. That I feel like that would have been cool. So since we didn't get too much of the multiverse, I would rename the movie to Doctor Strange and the Scarlet Witch, because how they tease it in the next movie, that after credits
Oh
scene
yeah,
with Leia,
Clea. Yeah.
if that's gonna be like Doctor Strange 3, I feel like the Multiverse of Madness is gonna fit more for that title because they said you need to come fix this incursion that's happening.
So you think it's a Hawkeye situation where they should have named it Hawkeye and like Kate Bishop show.
Something like that, yeah, where it doesn't matter too much, but I just felt like I like the name more of Doctor Strange and the Scarlet Witch, and then Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. If they're going that direction, would fit more with the third movie.
It's all about marketing, Albert. I think that was
It
a
is.
marketing.
It was.
Honestly.
That's
That's
say
true.
because multiverse is the whole big thing now. It is the second best multiverse movie this year. It's really.
Mm-hmm.
I will be watching. Don't worry. On Tuesday.
You better watch it.
I'm saying though. I'm just saying, like, you know, I know it's called Multiverse of Madness, and I think that's why a lot of people are upset because kind of like Hawkeye, right? They're like, "Where's Hawkeye? Why is Kate Bishop?" Yeah. You know, I get that, but I think this movie just really holds on its own. I think it's just, to me, I get it. It's another step. You know what's going to happen. You know why Clea's there. We're going to get Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Everybody's you're going to get X-Men. You're going to get Fantastic Four. You probably will get Tom Cruise as like another variant. You're going to get variants. I think Kevin Feige knows that people like are what they're saying, but in the back of his mind is like, wait till these mofos, like they're just not patient. Wait till we get, it's not going to be Avengers. It's going to be Secret Wars because that is an Avengers type film. So what we saw in Endgame and what we saw in Infinity War, I bet you they're talking to the Russo brothers right now. Like, hey, can we get you back to do Secret Wars? It's going to be like in 4 years' time, 3 years' time. And this is going to be a massive, once again, multiple characters in one shot. We're going to get it. I think that honestly think we're going to get it.
I think the Russos even said that. They're done with Marvel right now.
The war with Avatar starts now.
Those blue sons of bitches,
make so much money, but it doesn't matter.
They got like 4 movies lined up for the year. It's ridiculous. I'm like, I saw that trailer. I was like, too late.
Honestly,
you know.
Yeah.
Visually, it looked good.
It visually looked awesome. That's
the story. I don't remember the story of the first one, so I can't tell you if I'm excited or not. But I'm excited for the visuals. But yeah, the Russos, they said they're done with Marvel for right now. But I do believe that they said, no, I do believe they said that if they'd be interested in doing this, the Secret Wars storyline, I do think they said specifically that interests them.
Yes.
So yeah, I bet you they're talking about that already.
Definitely.
I think I just read an article, not read the article, I read the headline the other day that Kevin Feige's meeting to discuss about the next 10 years of Marvel or something like that. So I'm pretty sure those talks are happening, you know. Yeah. So, but I with the cameos and everything, the multiverse, people are upset that we didn't get Logan, we didn't get Deadpool, we didn't get Iron Man. I'm happy we didn't, honestly, because then they would have just been cameos just to like no purpose in the story. John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, like that was a cameo, but
That's all I needed.
it was all I needed too, but also it served the story well, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't want to see Deadpool just come out for like 5 seconds and just say a joke
He
and then get handled.
he did not need to be in this movie. Like
Mm-mm.
this is not the right time yet to put Deadpool in there.
And I did read leaks that we were gonna see like Iron Man and
Yeah.
what's it called?
Logan,
Logan, right?
or
And
one
they
version
were
of
like the
him.
same times that I was reading the leaks about Xavier when I didn't believe any of them, and then I saw the trailer and I figured all the leaks are true. It
The
turns out
trailer
they
shouldn't
weren't,
have
so I'm
revealed
happy.
that. The
They
trailer
shouldn't
shouldn't
have.
have
They
revealed
really should not
Xavier.
have.
Yeah.
I'm happy. Like they should have just revealed. I don't know. They could have teased Captain
None of the
Carter.
Illuminati. They should have never
Yeah,
revealed any of
they
the
shouldn't.
Illuminati.
They
They
shouldn't
did a good
even
job
had
of
that
hiding
guy's
Wanda.
name dropped in Illuminati.
Yeah, yeah.
But whatever.
I want to go in really quick. So we got to talk about the ending. First of all, the one thing I know a lot of people didn't like it and they thought it was weird, but I freaking loved it. When we get Doctor Strange, I like to team up with him and Christine. I thought that worked pretty well. I liked how they went to the what Strange is that? The one with the third eye. What would you call him?
Evil,
Um,
Darkhold Strange,
Darkhold
corrupted
Strange?
Strange.
Yeah,
Hold on, I'll be right back. My parents just got here. I'll be right back.
yeah, go right ahead. Chase, I freaking loved the fight they had. I love the back and forth, like the musical note fight.
yeah.
I
Oh,
thought it
that
was
was dope as hell.
I loved it. And people are
That
saying like
was
this was goofy and crazy. Like, dude, that is so Sam
that
Raimi
is
and it's so
so
unique.
awesome.
That was
Yeah.
such a unique fight.
Oh,
How many
I
times
was
are we gonna see CGI, big monster, blowing
yeah.
out the sky kind of
Oh
fights? That was a
yeah.
great fight.
That was awesome. I thought that literally as I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, people are gonna hate this, but I generally love this. I was
I
like,
thought it was
I
great.
love this. I thought this is so cool. Such a cool way to show off sorcery power and like just the unique things it can do.
Yeah.
Um and like the way they contain melodies and notes into attack. Like it was so cool. And people were like, I've heard people hate on that. I'm like, and I knew it was. As I was watching, I was like, people are gonna hate this because it is really like out there, but it's
Yeah.
awesome. I was like, this is so dope. This is like, it's kind of crazy because like you had that Doctor Strange fight with Thanos, which was amazing, and Infinity War was so cool. And
More
this one was
comic
a little,
accurate.
yeah,
Yeah.
more comic active, but this one was so like a smaller scale, but worked almost just the same for me. Where I was like, this is such a like so cool the way it shows off his magic and his
This is
sorcery
why
abilities.
This is why I love Sam Raimi, man. That style, that flavor.
Yeah,
Like the shots in here too was so Sam Raimi.
yeah,
The eeriness to it. The fight sequence worked in this movie. Like
yeah,
it really worked. And I like hearing people compare the magical fight scenes with The Witcher. And they're like, dude, The Witcher just like pew, 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 but like Wanda and like Wong and fighting them, and it's just more, it's more choreographed and just really well done. But that scene in particular really stood out to me because it was so out there and the visuals looked great, the fight looked great. But what I really loved though was the setup for Zombie Strange. I love
yeah.
that. The redemption that both of them get, because Zombie Strange tried to kill Chavez in the beginning, and then he uses that body to save Chavez. And just seeing the trailers and just seeing like what the hell's going on here, and then seeing the context of it and him going after Wanda, and I love it. Reminded me so much of like Constantine, where like the Zombie Strange demons, he controls these demons and they grab like they're going surrounding Wanda, and I haven't even mentioned having it like there's some phenomenal scenes in this movie. You have that, and then you also have the mirror dimension when Wanda's coming out like a freaking zombie herself or a witch.
Oh yeah.
So
That shit was
good.
Oh
sick.
my god, that was the first scene where I was like, "Oh, dude, I love this."
We're in
Wait,
for a
like,
treat, right?
Where I
Yeah.
thought like, dude, Sam Raimi's hooked me. I was like, I'm so excited.
So good. The cleverness of using like the puddles where Wanda was trying to escape or trying to grab Chavez through the puddles. Dude, uniqueness, fresher breath air. And then we get the ending, and I think yes, maybe it could have been like because Wanda essentially sacrifices herself. Maybe we could have maybe there could have been something there writing wise that could have really nailed it home. But I
She
was
should have just
satisfied.
flown into the sun.
No, he's not dead, man. They're never dead. But honestly, like, I think that moment where that's where I think Wanda's not dead. Like, we're gonna get another version of Wanda. We might get that version that she took hold of the body. We might see her again later on.
I
But we
hope her.
see,
I hope so.
yeah, because she knows like what the hell this Wanda did, and the fact that she's scaring her children, and then the other Wanda says, "Don't worry, like I'll love them," like
Mm-hmm.
that whole build up, and then I loved it. I thought it was I thought it was great, and then the acknowledgement that Wanda and Doctor Strange had while he was in zombie mode, like she's like, "I'm gonna get rid of all the Darkhold, all universe." That's
Yep.
yeah, that's a demise
That
that
was
I am very
dope.
satisfied with. Yeah, I,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
dude, I just think I don't know what these guys are seeing. I know, I get it. I guess they were expecting more and maybe an extravagant kind of movie, but everything worked for me, man. There was some corny, bizarre things that happened in the movie, but it didn't take me out of it. I think the only scene that took me out of it was the actual ending where Strange is walking down the street and then you hear this guitar riff and then his little eye pops out. You're like, ah! Like that was a little
Yeah.
that was Raimi, just like dotted
That
line.
was
And
hilarious.
It reminds
Yeah.
me of like what was it, Goosebumps? Like what was that?
Oh, yeah.
I think it was Goosebumps. At the end of like the shows, like you think the horror is over, you think the horror is done, like
Yeah.
that the show is over and that it's back to peaceful times for the characters or whatever in the show, and then all of a sudden you see like it hint towards something of like, oh no, the evil's still there. It reminded me very much of that. Like I don't even like when I saw that, I was like, I don't think they're gonna. Like, I think there's a good chance they do not explore this. I think there's a good chance we never see them explore the fact that Doctor Strange gets the eye at the end, and so I think there's a good chance that they just leave that as a one-off like little thing at the end.
It came back in the after credit scene.
It did, but again, I felt like that eye is just for the feeling of me. It
I-
feels like the Goosebumps, where it's like that was his thing. Like it was just like you think it's like again, he was walking down like it's over, the fight's done, the scary horror of the movie's done, and I felt like that scene was like, oh no, is it though? Kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't like the way the third eye looks, by the way. I don't know.
I
It
don't-
looks weird to
that-
me.
I did
It
not-
looked terrible. It looks
So
horrible.
Some
that's
of
why
the
I hope they don't bring it back unless it looks better. But I don't like the way it looks.
I think there's a good chance they'll cut that.
I think some of the CGI is a little bit like I thought I was watching Moon Knight for a minute. There's like the tentacle monster.
Yeah,
The third
no,
eye
no,
does not work. I hope they redesign that for sure.
Yeah.
But then like some of the CGI that I thought was gonna look very good actually looked better in the film while watching
Yeah.
it. So I was like, okay. So let's talk about those post-credit scenes. First of all, we're not even going to talk about Bruce Campbell's one because it was stupid. I didn't
It was
like
so
it.
dumb. I was so pissed.
Dude.
I once again
That was funny.
no
Why
idea.
why does he have a dude punch himself for that long? Like that's cruel for
It's
That was
a-
messed up.
Superhero to do.
It's a reference to Evil Dead.
That's what I thought it was because people were laughing about that
Yeah.
like
was like-
for a while, and I was like, oh, I never saw those movies, but I think
And
it's
Evil
referencing
Dead,
that.
his hand gets possessed from the book, and then he's just like constantly punching himself. It's
okay.
stupid. I
Is
definitely-
also Pizza Papa or whatever. Is that a reference too, or no?
no.
All right,
That's
right.
why I was like, why didn't you just bring Ash? But if they weren't traveling the zombie verse, I guess not.
Yeah.
I will say so when like so the credits come out and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like what? Charlize Theron? What's she doing here?
Yeah.
And then it immediately took me to the Fast and the Furious franchise. It didn't
Yeah.
take me to Furiosa. It took me to the Fast and the like I'm like, she's getting work, dude. She's getting a lot of work.
Yeah.
So I thought the CGI too, when she rips the
It's pretty
universe,
bad.
I thought that was really didn't look very good.
Yeah.
Especially when they do like let's go jump.
I didn't
in
care
there.
for her costume either.
Oh, the costume was
I was not-
terrible.
The
I
costume
didn't look at it
was
too
horrible.
Her
much.
look was terrible.
Yeah. I was like,
I
good
didn't pay
actor.
too much attention to
Please
it.
change that if they bring her back.
hmm
So what I know is that these two are like they become lovers. They travel the multiverse. So the whole thing is because Strange, the whole events that happened, the Darkhold and stuff, that he did the Albert, like the Loki thing, right? He did like was it Precursor or something like that, whatever.
I'm not sure. I spaced out for a bit. What happened?
So he created, so because of jumping the multiverses and I think
Oh,
using the
the
dark hope,
incursion. The
the
incursion.
incursion. There we go. The
Yeah,
incursion.
that's what she said. You create an incursion, you're gonna help me stop it. Unless you're afraid.
Yes, and that's in the comics too. I think the comics. I think it's
Mhm.
very accurate to the comics.
Yeah.
So we're getting, of course, like I said, that's why we're not done with the multiverse. We're absolutely just started.
Oh.
But this makes me wonder, and this is what Channel said. Like, I wish there was more Kang teases leading up. So what is going on? Like, is it you had Spider-Man No Way Home and the rip they had, and that was because of the spell we thought. You have Loki and all the killing Kang, right? Or Sylvie killing Kang. You have Kang coming into Ant-Man and the or Ant-Man Quantum Mania or whatever. What is affecting, what is this, and then you have this movie, what is it, what is affect, what's gonna bring the Secret Wars? Is it Loki's, is it this one, was it No Way Home, like are they all connected, like what the hell's going on?
That's what I was like. One of my disappointing factors in the movie, and I think we kind of hit on this a little bit. The fact that it's called Multiverse of Madness, I felt like this movie was finally going to kind of give us those answers of like what the multiverse is going to be from here on out in the MCU, and give like we thought Loki was going to be involved with this movie, and Loki, like Kevin Feige says, Loki does have a hand in
That's
the
true,
movie
we thought Loki was going to be in it.
we thought so because it was like he's the one who Sylvie's the one who caused the multiverse to split. Like the reason those multiverses are there is because of them. Like those multiverses wouldn't be there if it wasn't for them. So they are the one who caused the reason there is multiple, I guess, multiverses or whatever, and that they're not in check anymore. And I think the Loki ending is still a big deal to the MCU and all this. But like the fact that this movie really just gave us more questions, and it feels like they're just using the multiverse right now as again a selling point. Like, hey, like our movies are just going to involve multiverse each one, and seem to have a different way of involving it, without really giving us an answer how this multiverse really works and what's going on, what we're going to see. How is it going to bring in these superheroes? How is it going to bring in the X-Men? How are we going to bring in the Fantastic Four? Like, how is it going to change the MCU? Because I didn't feel like this really changed the MCU. We just got to go through it a little bit. They needed. I think Kang was one of the guys I wish they could have shown, because he's supposed to be a big part of the MCU. From at some point, we know he'll be an Ant-Man and the Quantum. I guess that's where we're going to get more answers about him. But like, we could again just a little more tease towards him, a little more tease to how important he's going to be in the MCU.
Yep, I think this movie should have done him as a final after credit scene instead of the Bruce Campbell one.
Campbell, yep.
It should have been like when we see Thanos at the end of Avengers, and it's like, oh, that's where this is leading to. They could have done something like that.
That's
where
what I thought.
It didn't have to be anything big. It could have just been like he sees on a device that there is some multiversal activities here, and then it just cuts him and he just makes some comment, and then like, that's all it could have been,
Yeah.
So missed opportunity. We'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully they start teasing it soon. I mean, they're teasing with all the multiversal stuff, but they're not teasing the actual character.
Yeah.
I think I think Loki's definitely going to be in Thor: Love and Thunder. He has to be, right?
Oh, I never even thought about it. I forgot they're brothers.
Yep.
So, that's going to be multiverse too,
adopted.
Right? That's how we get Jane Foster as Thor.
Yeah,
maybe.
Interesting.
Maybe she's both.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Yeah, I was like, is she Thor because of the multiverse? Like, how is the multiverse going to play into Thor? That's what I don't know.
I thought something in this movie was going to happen to answer that.
Yeah.
And then you have like the Eternal situation. Like, I feel like, dude, why did they drop the Eternals? Like, why did they drop this movie and with that ending? Because you have Nick Fury's show coming out with the Secret Invasion with the Skrulls. Yeah. And then I guess next up, the only Marvel property that's coming up is Thor: Love and Thunder, and then you have Miss Marvel.
In a month from now.
Yeah. So how much are they going to really contribute to the multiverse? I guess with Jane Foster, but how much is that really going to be in the story? Because this is Taika Waititi's story, and if anything, after watching Thor: Ragnarok, this might not even this is going to be out there, bizarre, but I don't think it's really going to connect too much.
I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't connect at all.
Yeah.
Wait, is he saying Sylvie made the strange spell not work? I thought it was actually Spider-Man's interrupting. I think you mentioned for saying about yeah. Well,
Kevin.
Sylvie's the one they because King. What does King say? The King says like because you're on the right track, Chase. Like basically, the TVA is the one
Yeah.
that held the multiverses, and then the killing of Kang. He doesn't. He even said like I don't even know what's gonna happen, and then
Yeah.
all these multiverses split.
Yeah.
Um,
I think there is things showing online or saying online kind of how they do connect in ways. I want to say like the reason that these multiverses exist now is because of them. Like the multiverses were kept in check
yeah.
and was basically one verse under Kang, and then once Kang died, they split again, and the
You know what?
verses that
You're right. You're right because the
didn't
TVA's
exist came
job.
back
Yeah,
was to keep
TVA's
that
job.
one multiverse.
The TVA's job was to go fix that with people
Yeah,
attempting that or whatever. So if let's just say Spider-Man, right? That situation, a
yeah,
TVA member would have went and stopped that.
yeah,
What was the other one? The other one was this movie. A TVA probably would have went because I think that's going to be the big reveal. I think you're actually on it.
yeah,
I think we're not getting our answers now, but
yeah,
later on, somebody's going to go like, the only reason this is all happening is because this main thing happened with Kang.
yeah,
Because maybe Loki's probably going to explain it. Sylvie's going to probably explain it. Yeah, your guys' universe, why there's just so much chaos, madness, is because we fucked up. We killed
yeah,
Kang, and now instead of a working a corporate kind of like TVA making sure they nip this in the bud and nothing happens like this, now we're getting these this wars. We're getting these multiverse wars. So that's
mhm,
why we're gonna get secret wars and all that stuff. But as for this movie, though, like I loved it, man. I can't wait to see it again. It was a fantastic popcorn flick. It was such a breath of fresh air. You
yeah,
two know I'm so sick of the Marvel formula, especially with Shang-Chi, especially
Yeah.
with
yeah,
all this other shit. But this was the one time, and I spoiled myself, and I still love the movie. This is the
Yeah.
one time I sat there and I'm like, this is so unique. This is so this is
Yeah.
absolutely Sam Raimi, and this is pushing the boundaries, and I
yeah,
love it.
Mhm.
I don't care how cheesy, how crazy the effects weren't as good as some parts. It worked for me. It absolutely worked for me. I just
yeah,
hope that Feige and Disney and Marvel, because they're making bank already. I think this made
no.
the most. Was it? It's
I mean,
definitely the highest opening of the year, isn't it?
yeah, it's been more than Doctor Strange 1, which was a
Definitely. I mean,
success. So
yeah.
yeah, this movie's crushing it. I forget the numbers, but I mean, it's not like us in the movie theater. We're like, oh, it's not Spider-Man, but it's a big one,
Yeah,
or like it's huge.
it's gonna continue, and I know it's I think it's like the might be the worst rotten score for an audience, but it's not even that bad for like this
Mm.
MCU kind of property. I think
Yeah,
it. Oh dang, maybe more worse than Eternals. I hope that Feige doesn't listen to that, and I hope he does bring like directors like Sam Raimi to the fold. I hope
yeah,
actually Sam Raimi does a third if they do
Doctor
another Doctor
Strange. Yeah,
Strange, or
Yeah.
possibly Sony looks at this and like Raimi, let's do it. You're getting another shot at Spider-Man. I think Raimi at 2022 killed it.
yeah,
Scott Deckerson, I believe his name is, or Dickerson. He did a good job in the first Doctor Strange, but dude, I think they gave I hope they just ignore a lot of like all this
the
stuff
credit. Yeah,
and just continue to do what this film did.
yeah,
But still staying in the Marvel formula, they still have to connect stuff and everything.
yeah.
But hell of a job, man. You guys, I thought 10 out of
Dude,
10 for me.
I
Probably one of
thought
my
you were
favorite Marvel
trolling when
movies.
you told me when you first messaged me after you saw the movie. I thought you were trolling when you said that 10 out of 10 you loved the movie. I was like,
Yeah.
man, this guy hated the movie. He's
It's
trolling.
like it's
Doesn't
weird to
know.
think. It's weird to think I'm lower than you are. That's the
Same
weird thing. 'Cause
here.
I
I'm
never
lower
am.
So
too.
so what
Like
what is your
Danny's always the
score?
so critical one.
What is your score?
Ah, man, I loved it, but I'm going to go 8 out of 10. I think it's
So
criminal to put it under 8, but I think 8 out of 10 works for me. Like an 8.5 if I can.
Yeah,
I
the
give it an
first
8
time I
out of 10.
watched it, I was debating between 9 or 10 because I was like, I really love this movie. I wasn't expecting most of this stuff to happen.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would change some things, but like at then I wouldn't change anything with the story really besides
yeah,
Vision. But like, oh well. But you see, it's gonna be weird because if I'm ranking out of 10, I say 9. But if I'm ranking out of 5, I'll say 5.
yeah. Because
And
But
I'm the
it's
right
not
now
perfect.
harshest critic. The
you're the
harshest critic
harshest one
given,
here. But here's the
and I
thing: it's
loved
all
it,
about
man.
like what you like. Because if you really
Hmm.
like certain aspects of it,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
gonna ignore the bad of it, and that's with any movie. Like
There's
if
another
at the end
thing
of the day,
too.
like most movies have like bad things. There's no perfect movie really, but if you love a certain aspect of it, like when I
Hmm.
watched the movie, I was like, okay, Dan's probably gonna really like the fucking horror aspect of
The
this. Like that's
the
Yeah.
really gonna
brutality of
the
it,
brutality and the difference of this is really
and the
gonna hook
Wanda
him in.
character and where
Like
she
it hooked me in.
goes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it hooked me in. I was absolutely obsessed with it. I'll give it 8 out of 10 because I think it falls short on some dialogue. I think
Hmm.
Doctor Strange could have done. I am on the point where I think Doctor Strange could have gotten a little bit better, like character growth. There was a little bit there, but I just think he got nothing. Like Wanda got all the tragic like backstory and stuff to her. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't feel like Doctor Strange really has that. He really hasn't felt
They
like
did
he's
reveal
lost much.
something though. They revealed
Yeah,
his
I was gonna
sister.
say.
No, that they did
Well,
reveal his sister.
yes,
I did forget that.
I didn't even
Mhm.
know that.
But
Yeah,
again,
so
go
they could
deeper
have done
in
some.
that. You know?
No, maybe the third film they will, but it's something that they
Yeah,
should have. They should have went deeper in that
yeah,
one.
To me, when they said that, I was like, oh well, that's the
yeah.
reason why he became
I
a
I
doctor. He felt
I,
helpless to
I
help
like what
right there.
channel. I like what channel said. She said 10 is high, or sorry,
Uh,
he said 10 is high. It's not Guardians 1 or Winter Soldier. Like I think it's a really top-notch Marvel film. I love the uniqueness of it. It's one that I rewatch again, but it's just not in that upper S tier for me. Like
If
to
I
me,
had
of
to
it is.
great.
compare this, I had to compare this to Endgame, where Endgame like is a slower movie at some points,
Yeah,
and it's
I get that.
but it's fun. It's
It's so much
absolutely a
fun.
love letter to all
It's a
those
blast.
years,
Yeah,
and you could rip it apart, and you could probably rip
yeah,
this apart for sure. But my enjoyment going out of the theater,
yeah.
that's all I want. That's
That's
what
what Marvel
cinema's
does
all
best.
about.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's what
and
Marvel does
yes,
best. And that's where
I
its high
want,
points are.
but I want it done. I want it executed great. I want at
Yeah,
least you could tell that there's love put into to
yeah,
characterization, scene going to one scene, and I got. I think I what I saw, I got that, and same with
yeah,
Endgame, right? You got to go through all that to get to
yeah,
that final battle, and it means more. So I agree. Guardians of the Galaxy is probably a better movie, one, and Winter Soldier. But
yeah,
enjoyment and just the aspect of them nailing it and execution and a smaller scope film. And look at this movie compared to, it's up there with in the boat,
yeah.
right? It's up
Yeah,
there with
it's up there.
Guardians.
It's really close. I
Guardians
know I
is
gotta
like
watch it a second time, but
watch it the
it's
second
damn
time, man.
close.
But
Yeah,
Guardians was so different, so fresh. It was nuts, but it worked. Same with this movie. Winter Soldier was cerebral. Their answer to the Dark Knight,
yeah,
tone wise, like that's what I wanted for the Falcon and Winter Soldier,
yeah,
and that's those memorable action scenes. And this one goes up there as a category of something fresh, something
yeah.
brings something to the Marvel table.
I like
Kudos.
it.
Is great. I will say though, real quick. So Channel says so Chavez would have been killed by TVA, probably.
I think Chavez is a direct result of Loki, but that's just my theory. Like again,
Okay.
she exists because Loki and then destroyed the TVA, and like I think she was something that was taken care of. She might be like related to King in some way of like King maybe using her power to be to transport. Who knows? Maybe she was made from King. Like I am curious on her power and how she achieved
Hmm.
multiversal travel, but I think my thought process of her was she was a result of it. Like again, my thought process is all these multiverses that they're going to, and the reasons they're there right now is because of Kang being killed.
Yeah.
Him being killed. That's when this happened before Multiverse of Madness and even Spider-Man. That is the reason that these universes all of a sudden exist again. They were taken care of, and now they were brought back,
Hmm.
and they're back in action. So that's what I think at least. Yeah.
Great
And that's
discussion. Great
yeah,
discussion. Love to hear you guys always your thoughts and like I'm glad that we all agree that this was a fun time and a great movie.
Yep.
Like because so
yeah,
much being made that this was with those reviews coming out, and I'm
Yeah.
glad that we're all on board, saying
They're
at
putting it
least
so
agreeing
low.
it was fun.
So disgraceful.
I'm glad a Marvel
Yeah.
movie finally made you feel how they usually make me feel happy
Well,
after I watch it.
well, No Way Home did the same thing. It's
Oh,
just
that's
I
true.
have
That's
so
true.
much. I guess my expectations were No Way Home because I love Spider-Man so much. So
Yeah.
for me, it's like I want to direct this Spider-Man movie, but now that it's on home media, like I go back to it a lot. Like I love what they
Yeah.
did with Spider-Man. It's still I think I'll ask one more question and then we'll head out. Especially to Chase. So you're going No Way Home over Multiverse of Madness.
Yes.
Okay.
Not even
Alvin.
hesitation.
I like
He's
this movie
eating.
more than Spider-Man.
Me too.
Look, my
There
mom
we
right
go.
here. Who said it
Let's
too?
Yeah.
Hi
What?
guys, sorry.
Hey,
No,
no,
you're
no,
good.
no, 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 no.
10 out of
It's
Oh,
a,
10?
it's
10
a
out of 10. You know
10
what?
out of
yeah.
10.
Different level. I loved it.
All right. Respect.
Okay,
Yo,
okay.
you heard a
Um,
feminine output.
Yeah.
you know what? I can't.
What's
I'm
my
gonna
mom was
say
watching?
I think I put No Way Home. What did I do? 9 out of 10. 9.5.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
dude, it's
You
so
can't
hard.
say this better. I mean, I guess it works for you.
It really
Yeah,
works for me
that
because I
one.
love Wanda. But as a
Yeah.
Spider-Man fan, I'm gonna lean a little bit towards Spider-Man just because, like, the
You
absolute
could,
brilliance of bringing all the
again,
other Spider-Mans into the fold. Toby,
Spider-Man,
Andrew, the villains, so great.
the ending, from the moment Peter has his his Spidey sense inside the hotel room with all the villains and Webb's Green Goblin. From
So
that
good.
point forward in the movie, there is not a single scene that is not iconic. Every single scene from that moment is iconic.
I love the. I
Everything.
still.
It just
Fight
no movie
wise,
has ever done that. It
fight
was
wise,
amazing.
the Goblin, the first fight with Goblin and Tom, man, was so good,
Yeah,
so
it was so
good.
great. Yeah.
But I love this
Wanda
movie
is
too.
a better villain than any of those villains in any movie that they've been in before.
I agree. I think Wanda was a better villain than Goblin.
But it's also because we've seen her so much, we've seen her evolve, and it's also, I believe, the first time in the MCU that we see a hero turn into a villain. And like the Joker said, you're just one bad day from being like him. Wanda had several of those bad days. She's seen a lot of her
What?
loved ones die.
Yeah, we got to go. You got to go back and just see. Maybe I'll make a video. I'll make a video of
Wanda
every
is amazingly done.
bad stuff that happened to Wanda,
The man,
and
Green
then
Goblin,
Yeah.
yeah,
wonderful. Yeah,
I know.
She saw
Well,
her
Willem
parents
Dafoe's still
die. She
killing
saw
it.
her brother
Still
die.
killing it.
She saw her
yeah,
kids die, kind of. She saw her husband die like 5 times.
yeah.
Yeah, Wanda's been through it and then some.
The
Fucking
worst
hug.
is the kids.
Also, the worst is the kids. She
kids.
can relate.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem sometimes. Is like people really can't relate because they don't have kids yet. And after I had my kid, the one movie, A Quiet Place, when that one
Hmm.
kid gets killed, like, oh, dude, it was so hard to watch.
Hmm.
So hard to watch. But yes, very happy we all agree, though. We did enjoy the film. I'll watch it one more time. I'm going to watch this movie that Chase keeps telling me about. And I want to
Everything,
watch
everywhere,
too.
all at once. Best
Yeah,
multiverse movie
it
ever.
was a good movie. I like this one
Best
more than that.
multiverse movie. No,
Best
You
best
know what?
multiverse
They did something that I wish wasn't
ever.
here was that
Don't
fight
you can't
between different
Don't spoil it.
universes.
Don't
you
spoil
can't
it.
tell.
I
Oh,
haven't seen it
sorry.
yet.
You gotta go in. You
This
have to
one I
literally
won't
go in
because I
knowing
have
as
not heard
little as
anything.
possible. You have to
So
go in
I
and
don't
knowing as
spoil
little.
this one.
I
Yeah.
loved it. I was obsessed with it.
Okay. Well,
It was good. I liked it.
I'll watch it
Yeah.
and see if that one's better than this one. Because man, I was gonna.
I don't know if you'll like it just because you really loved fucking Doctor Strange way
Oh,
more than
can
I
I
thought
say
you would.
one more thing too? The
Yes.
daydream, the dream walking. I
Oh, the
love
dream
that
walking.
idea. That was dope.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
cool. That was cool.
Hmm.
The dream
And
walking.
when we
Guys,
first see
it
it,
is.
when Mortal's telling Doctor Strange, "Oh, the Scarlet Witch has a dark hold; she can dream walk." The score hits, and then it's showing these it's like four images on the screen at the same time, where it's like Doctor Strange's head's right here, and then Mortal's head's right here, and then right in the middle is Wanda like levitating, and then another one with Wanda's like face. I don't know. It looks so cool with the soundtrack. It was amazing.
It was like a 60s kind of groovy kind of theme that particular scene. And we didn't
Yep.
even talk about Danny Elfman. I'm so happy they brought Danny Elfman into the fold with Raimi again. Because I
Mhm.
think the score did it wasn't like his greatest score, but it did help elevate the movie at some points of the especially the battle with Strange and Evil Strange too.
Strange, yeah. That was all right.
Albert didn't like it, Chase. We loved it.
I loved it.
We
Yeah.
loved it. Yeah, we thought
That's
it was
just, I'm not a
great.
music guy.
Awesome.
He's just Albert doesn't have music taste.
Yeah.
He
Oh, is that what
doesn't.
you guys were talking about
He
when I left?
doesn't. Yeah, yeah. He doesn't go to concerts or listen to every album throughout the year.
I do though. I listened to every album last
You're a
year.
real
He
big
doesn't.
Nickelback
He just
fan,
doesn't
we
understand.
know.
He's not
Imagine
into that
Dragons, you
Beethoven
get it.
stuff. No,
I'm not into the classical music. I knew it was one guy versus another. I couldn't tell you who it was.
I loved it, but
Yeah, it was awesome.
thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining me too. Chase, are we still doing Twitch over there?
Yeah, I'm still doing some Twitch, doing some video gaming, doing a lot of Rocket League and Fortnite.
Okay, Overdue Bobcat 50 is where you could find them.
My mom says, "What do you think of the Avatar trailer?"
I actually got me more excited. It got me more excited for
I was
the
surprised.
movie.
I was I wasn't expecting the full trailer. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I knew it was coming because I saw the trailer before because I worked in the movie theater. So I was like, oh shit, we're getting Avatar. It's supposed to officially come out online at the end of the week.
Monday, probably.
Yeah.
That's cool
but
that they just just put that on the for Doctor
it
Strange
showed off the
trailer.
visuals. I was like, damn, this is good. It'll probably be the highest grossing movie of the year. I don't think it'll go what the first one did.
I don't think so. It might be Doctor Strange and Thor in them. I don't know. We'll see.
I think it could be.
I don't know how much people care about Avatar, but I'm excited to see it. Visually,
There's
look
still
great.
a good amount of buzz for it, man. I'm getting more and more buzz. And
it's like 8 years too late to me.
It'll depend on how the trailers really push it and see if people really get into those trailers.
Hey, there's no Star Wars related movies coming up, so this also feels out like Star Wars.
Because Disney
void.
killed it.
Disney killed it. Will they kill
stuff.
Avatar?
I don't know.
See.
Well, this is James Cameron's. This is his.
Yeah.
And I never want to bet against James Cameron because this dude has made iconic movies and movies I still watch to this day. So
yeah.
I mean, I'll go watch it, but my expectations are medium. They're not high. They're not low.
Those are the best expectations to have.
I just expect to have a great visuals, to have awesome ass looking scenes. That's it.
It looked great in 3D. I saw the trailer in standard and in 3D.
I will go see
and I was
it
like,
in 4DX, 3D, 4DX. I'll go get the best experience possible.
IMAX 3D is the way.
Yeah, I'm doing. I like the 4DX. It's fun.
I'm kind of. I should have watched this in IMAX. The Doctor Strange.
I know. That's what I'm gonna try to do tomorrow.
Oh, you're gonna try to do that? I'll probably. I think that's ship sailed. Maybe I'll go to RPX. That's the best thing I could do right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna end it here. It's getting a little bit late, especially for Chase. He needs to go memes.
Yeah.
But I love the discussion. Albert, tell your mama Happy Mother's Day.
I heard.
Thank you.
Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. It's nice listening to you guys.
Thank you for listening to us. I think you're becoming a fan of this channel now, huh?
Yeah. Yes, I am. Thank you.
Thank you for the support. And Albert is always awesome. I love talking Marvel with him. We just did Moon Knight, which surprisingly a lot of people liked the finale. I hated it.
Loved it.
Oh,
I love that.
That's another discussion for another time. I'm not going to go back to that.
Hey, the end of the year, we'll talk about all things Marvel that happened this year.
Yes, we should. We will do there isn't too much crazy Marvel. There's not well, there is a lot, but
there's some big ones.
Yeah,
it's gonna be 3 movies and 3 shows, I think.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll definitely talk. But thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, channel. Thank you, MJ. And then, like I always say, just go ahead and subscribe, like the video, and we would love comments and love to hear you guys' thoughts on this diverse movie. Everybody's split a little bit, but I want to hear if you loved it, if you didn't like it, and what's your score. So, and thank you guys. And happy Mother's Day, and you guys have a good one. Okay.